Okay, guys and gals, because I'm actually helping train Pam, which is the wife on the boat, and she's doing an amazing job driving this boat. But today, before we get started on any yacht training, we have a little bit of water here in the bilge. So I'm going to vacuum that out before we get started. And Todd, he doesn't know it yet, but I think he's going to solo today. So I hope he does. He did an amazing job yesterday. So this is only a second day of training with no thrusters. So he's not allowed to use the thrusters. They're not even working on the boat right now. And it's scheduled to get the thrusters. He's going to put a bow and stern thruster on it, but he's learning to drive it without the thrusters. So Pam and Todd are working together right now to get the boat on tide. And then we're gonna head out for some yacht training this morning. And they're working together as a team. They got their headsets on and working together. It's not a lot of room here. You got about, she's calling out the distance for you, right, Todd?
She is.
Okay, perfect. Absolutely perfect so far. Like you did all day yesterday, boss. And she's telling you your distances, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now remember what I talked about. Make sure you're using up your real estate because you don't want to end up on that boat in front of you. And you're doing absolutely perfect, boss. And I like the way you're just coming out nice and slow. That's tight, baby.
That's what we like it.
Yeah. I love everything you just did about that whole maneuver. I mean, that's really, really nice. And you can imagine when you get your thrusters on here, what game changer, you know what I'm saying? Like
Sure.
this.
But this does give you the confidence that
Oh, brother, you need, like, I would never tell anybody, if you can't operate the boat without those thrusters, don't buy it. Even on a single screw, you got to learn to drive the boat.
Thank you.
And that's why I like, like you wanting to do this without your thrusters is amazing because you don't have any choice. Do you know what I'm saying? So that was perfect. Now you know the maneuver we're going to do. We talked about it. We're going to go right back into your slip, if that makes sense. Yeah. Your other slip. Towards Alabama, when you come out of that marina, you come out into a bridge like this right here, but there's barge traffic. Yeah. So, and there's current in there. So if you're not really careful coming out of there, you can get yourself in trouble really, really quick coming out of that marina. We're at kind of the end of the big boats. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's not as bad, but just perfect this morning, Tom. Short yesterday, we mentioned you were asking what that is on that radar, or sorry, on that sailboat right there, and that's it's a radar deflector is what it is. So he doesn't have probably radar on that sailboat, so that's just a little thing that they put on there to help get a good radar signal from other boats, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the slip you're going to go into. He's going into this slip right there.
No, pulling in.
It's good. Stop all your forward momentum and then start your turn. There you go. Perfect.
right angle. I should have been more 90 degree.
You were perfect though. Todd, what I want you to do is back the boat out, go out there, do a 180, and then come back and put it in the slip. This is your solo, baby. So this is his solo. This is his first time ever doing this on his own. Him and Pam are working together as a team. She's probably calling out distances right now in his headset. He's getting ready to clear the dock here. He's doing absolutely perfect. Great job, Todd. Good teamwork. So now he's gonna go out there, do a 360, come back, put it in the slip. And then we'll just keep practicing today. But I just want to get this while he's nice and fresh, get this solo. It's a really confident builder for him that he knows he can do this, which he did this all day yesterday, so he should be fine today. This is a 44 DeFever, and he has no thrusters. It does have a bow thruster, but it wasn't working when we purchased the boat, and so he's having that repaired, and he's putting a stern thruster on here. But learning to drive the boat without the thrusters is such an advantage for him. This is his slip right here. This is his slip here at Lamb's Yacht Center. But a boat actually hit the dock over here. You can see the barge being repaired. It hit the dock, did some damage to the dock, so they're doing the repairs. So they got him in a different slip while they're doing those repairs. So it's good for him to practice and do these maneuvers in his own slip, basically. Later on this morning, we're just going to do forward in the slip. And all this is getting his eye and hand and sight coordination all lined up. And then later on this afternoon, we're going to be doing some backing into the slip. And then hopefully tomorrow, we're going to take the training wheels off. And he's going to go to over to the fuel station. We're going to do a pump out. Really start getting him used to those type of maneuvers. So you can see him, he's got his turn. He's gonna come back into the marina. Not even in the same, you know what I'm saying, like your confidence now is you're just doing really, really good.
Well, I had time for it to soak in.
Yeah, it helps, you know what I'm saying, all of that. And that's why you can't do too much on the first trip. It was like a perfect scenario for you. You learned enough to do this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Whenever I try and jam these sessions into a delivery, you don't get this experience. Does that make sense? And you need this experience, or you're not docking the boat.
I agree.
And it's hard to do both. It just is.
And I agree that the best thing to keeping it down here, so that that I can come all winter and play on it.
Correct. Let's go ahead and take it through the bridge right there, because that's good practice. Do you know what I'm saying? For you to, it's a narrow passage.
We're gonna go through the bridge,
and we'll flip it around.
Yep, I see it.
And I want you to like you normally would, just take your steerage. Does that make sense? After you just pretend like you're getting it out of the marina here, and you're driving it through that bridge, which is taking you're going to start steering with the wheel here once you get it going forward. There you go. And then if you feel like you need to start, you want to move it, you could use a gear. Does that make sense? You could use a little bit of both. That's it, baby. That's your solo. You did it, man. Woo. I knew you were going to be ready. I can't say anything, but I knew you were going to be ready. Needed to start that turn just a little bit earlier. Use this one as a little bit of a learning curve. Pam's calling out her distance. Please use all your real estate. Is she telling you how many feet you got? Okay, good. So I think the biggest thing you learned on that one right there is just stop the boat, turn it. Does that make sense? And then get back into that. That'll dictate whether you want forward momentum or reverse momentum, but just stop the boat. And whenever you're in trouble, just stop the boat. Just everything's neutral and the boat, no forward momentum and no reverse momentum. Much, much nicer. Just nice and tight up against that dock, exactly where you need to be. Is she telling you how many feet you're away from that? Okay, good. Much, much nicer. Felt good too, didn't it, Todd? That felt really good. Yeah. Okay, I want you back out and let's do it again. Really want this time is I want you even tighter up against this slip. Does that make sense? The right side, yeah. And then I want you to pull it into the slip. So good practice is using all your real estate from the back there, and then finish your turn. Don't start going forward until your turn is completed. And she's calling off your distances right now, right? Yeah, perfect. See how much further you're away from that dock right there?
Yep.
That's what I want to see, because what'll happen is you'll get you even if that boat's slanted that way slightly, and the wind and current get you, you'll understand. You'll be right up against some rails or something like that. So it's better just to use everything you got, if that makes sense, and stay as far away from that outside boat if you can. All right, I want to do the same thing, but again, tighter to the slip you're pulling into. Just move it over about another 3 feet, if that makes sense. To me, this is picture you're like right where you need to be off the docks. Now, if the wind and current was pushing me into those docks, I'd be further over this way. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's about, I'd say you're right where you needed to start that turn. That's perfect. Yeah. Pam's calling out your distances, right? And if you ever need to, Todd, you just stop neutral right now. Do you know what I'm saying? You walk over to the side of your boat and take a look, if that makes sense. Know where you're at. Yeah, I like that. How'd that feel, being that little bit closer to that dock?
It felt good.
Yeah. I don't mean to make fun of you, but I just remember our first 5-day trip, and it wasn't about this though. You know what I'm saying? Like it was you learning and getting on there and learning everything, but you would have thought this was impossible. Like it was just, this boat is impossible to put in the slip, but now here you are, you know, on this experience and just laying it, you know what I'm saying? Like you feel the control you have of the boat now. But for me to tell you had that kind of control was impossible. You say that's impossible. I can't. Nobody can control a boat like that. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, you're right. It was definitely
There's a lot going on, though, too. There was a lot. I like the way you're way away from your dock right now. Much, much better. And Pam's calling out your, distance is perfect. That was, I mean, both of those were just picture perfect, in my opinion. All right, it's tight in here, Todd. You see, you don't have a lot of room here. You got a 44-foot boat. You got about 70, 80 feet. And you're gonna put it in that slip. This is not the first time. This is your second or third time you put it in this slip. But I'm gonna try not to say anything to you at all. I like that. Kill that forward speed.
Watch the back. Okay, come to the starboard side. Starboard.
And just start pushing off the pylons and helping her a little bit. And then if you need to bump, you bump. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let me get on you.
So you may as well grab that line and put it where it kind of goes, if that makes sense.